Having the right kind of people in your life is very, very important. If you ask me, I want to have positive people, people who are going to help me grow and learn, not people who are going to hold me back, keep me in trouble, involved in drama. If you choose to remove someone from your life, I don't believe that makes you a bad person. It doesn't make you mean, as long as you do it in an appropriate way. I have given many, many opportunities to many people. I was the type of person that put people's needs and wants ahead of myself. I'd taken better care of my friends than I did myself. And in the end, I was the only one who ends up getting burned. Now I have this one best friend. Let's just call her friend N for now. And friend N decides we're going to go to this amazing concert. It was awesome. It was just before my wedding, and anytime we would do something, she would always turn it into this big stressful thing. She had more flexibility with work just because she worked nights. I worked a normal, 9 to 5 job. So because I would get off at 5, it would drive her nuts. No, you have to get off early. You have to do this. You have to do that. I had never seen money for any of these things. Years and years, I would go for birthdays and things like that. I can count the amount of times that she showed up in return. Maybe about 3. I would give a present. Never had I received anything from this girl. I'm not a materialistic person. I don't expect anything back. But it's just a good example of somebody showing evidence that they're selfish. They don't care about you or your needs. They lied about a sexual assault case. And for me, and anybody who knows me knows, I am not a fan of that. It really, really bothers me. Nobody should be raped or sexually assaulted, and to lie about it, it's not right. It was also against a friend's family member that we had in common. So they ended up not being friends for so long, and then the fact that they started becoming friends all over again, it was like, don't need to go there. This friend, N, I wanted to include her in my wedding because we had been friends for so long. She also went through a really hard time where she had gotten pregnant and decided that she was going to have an abortion before her family had found out. So she had begged me to do the calls for her, and as a good friend I did. And I got caught in the calls. My mother had overheard. And for the longest time, I just made my mom believe that it was me because I didn't want my mom to treat my friend differently or poorly. Again, none of that means anything. So here I am involving this person in my wedding, and what is the last straw for me is basically I had found out after the wedding how much of a hard time she had made everything, how she tried to over-control everything, the way she treated my cousins and my sister. Also, the wedding was a princess theme type wedding, and the dresses, they were little pinch, so it looks like ruffles. And so I don't believe that they were hideous looking dresses. I have been in weddings with much uglier looking dresses, and I know one of the main reasons that she was not a fan of the dress was because it didn't match her skin tone. I should have thought of that better because, you know, she's pasty white and freckles and redhead. You know what? It's not about you. And I find out that she goes as far as posting these dresses on CP24 as ugliest dresses. Like, who does that? These dresses were also, like, you could remove the pinches so they could be a straight dress afterwards. It's not my fault you don't look good pink. Like, so for me, friends like that, I don't need in my life. You know, there was enough back and forth of friends, not friends, forgiving. And when people are not reciprocating that relationship back, you have more than enough reason to choose not to have people in your life. A second friend I'd like to use for example, let's call her friend R. Now, friend R, she was, you know, friends with friend N, and they spent so much time hating each other, talking so much crap and hate, and with good reason. You know, if someone had lied about sexual assault against a family member of mine, I would be furious. But this girl is very needy. She cannot be alone. When people cannot keep a relationship and are constantly going back and forth, it's a very good indication why they can't keep anything good in their life. This friend comes back after, you know, abandoning everybody and wants to hang out again. Fine, let's do it. But right away is looking for a new boyfriend, a new fling. And when that person or that man is there, she's MIA. All the plans that you've made for months and months and weeks are gone out the window. Every time you try to call, it's, oh, I'm busy, I'm with him, I'll call you when I'm done. Anytime she, you know, would want to hang out with you, it's while they're at work or, you know, they're not around. And then we're stuck hanging out with him afterwards. And then it's just, you know, I have no problem with PDA, but when you're going over the top and you're pretty much sitting there, like, I'm not 16 anymore. We started trying to go out to, you know, different things. We went for dinner at a bar, and I was bringing her to meet someone that she had idolized for a long time, and brings this guy, this guy that she's seeing, knowing that she's purposely, you know, going to be flirting with this guy that she idolizes, causes this big scene because that's just her. It's too much. And then when we're trying to go to a place, even like a club, and I'm so done with the club scene, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go, but don't have me home no later than 3, which is not a bad thing to ask. Oh, for sure I'll have you home by 3. I have to bring friends out because she has no one to go out with. And so we're going in this car and we're chasing these guys to go to some club. Before we get there, they're like, okay, we're going to go to this other club. this club's boring. They can't even wait until, she arrives. She's pretty much chasing these people all around town. And then by the time we get to the club, it's like they can't even bother to buy her a drink. My friend, was there buying me and my other girlfriend a drink, and, saying we were buying them a drink. It's just like, it kind of shows like how much she's, what she does to be with other guys. And when the time was finally ready to go and we're like, okay, it's time to go. Okay, yeah, we're going. And then we're walking to the parking lot. And it's, again, like 15, 20 minutes of like heavy makeout in the corner. And we're just all standing there. And it's like, okay, we gotta go. You said we were gonna go. Oh my God, why are you being such a brat? It's 3:15 in the morning. I want to go home. And continue the makeout. Okay, fine, you know what? We're just gonna take a cab, have fun. And then the minute we start walking, oh my God, fine. And then, as we're walking in the car, and she's having like a temper tantrum the whole way home because she's so upset she had to stop making out. So she'll purposely like blast Justin Bieber or One Direction the whole way just to annoy me. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? You could care less about my feelings or needs or wants. It's all about you and about what's good, for you. And I just don't need friends like that. So when I'm saying, I need more positive people, and their reactions are kind of like, oh, you know what? You deserve to have no happiness. This is exactly what you're asking for because you push people away. And it's like, you know what? That's fine. The biggest thing you could do is admit to your faults. We all have them. God knows I do. I'm not perfect either. There's probably a million things about me that they couldn't stand. But they cannot say that I was not a good friend and I was not there and that I wouldn't do anything. And unfortunately, I can't say the same in return. Now, to this day, I can. I've got good people in my life. So when people come to me and ask for this advice, I say, yes, you are welcome to do this. When I was in the hospital and we were doing our program, they basically had us imagine, have everybody ever met, friends, acquaintances, family, lovers, everything. Pretend you're in a play. Where would all these people be seated? Are they on floor seats? Are they second, third balcony by the door? Are they out the door? Can they come back in the door, or are they out the door for good? Have they lost? And you just keep doing this and keep doing this, and you just keep seeing where these people land. And if these people keep moving away, it's a very good indication that they're not meant to be in your life. And I like that example, and that's exactly one of the things that I use to this day. I hope it helps.